Mhm.
Okay, well, thank you very much for coming to talk to me today. So, your recent paper is on AI and how that might affect sort of sleep research and sleep medicine. So, I just wanted to sort of start off with what are the possible benefits for AI within our field?
Yeah, well, generally, I think there's a big hype at the moment, and that is one reason for this paper also to inform people about what is possible with these methods and how they can be explained. Generally, you can accelerate a lot of processes. That's the main topic maybe, and get more automation
Mhm.
to new realms. For example, even by just by processing natural language, that gives you. We discussed this under the topic general advances. That gives you a completely new possibilities to interact with your with the patients, for example, or with your samples, and to get feedback from people other than they having to use a computer to fill out forms, for example.
Mhm.
But one thing really for the sleep field is has already arrived. Help in measuring sleep state. We have, for example, now neural network methods that quantify arousals, and that also do sleep staging very well. So you can accelerate the whole process of sleep staging and measuring sleep state. And of course, that brings with it also a large amount of objectivity, if you want. You know, the whole inter-rater reliability issue goes away if you use these automated uh, methods. And then we also explain other fields like how you can advance diagnostics and advance research more.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, we obviously are starting to see this more and more in everyday life, let alone just in research. So I think the possibilities are really interesting and exciting, but also potentially a little overwhelming and worrying. So I guess then the next sort of question is, what are the sort of challenges for how we're going to tackle this? And obviously in the paper you talk about the issues with being able to look at this data, sort of like legally, and the kind of ethical constraints. But are there other things we need to worry about as well in terms of such data?
Yeah, what one thing that was important for us was that everybody understands that neural networks are ephemeral. This is the first thing. Ephemeral means they are never in a way finished, you know, or
Mm,
you cannot really elevate a neural network to define a standard. You can, no matter how well a neural network may, for example, do the sleep staging,
mhm,
we cannot just use a neural network, defined as a standard for sleep staging, because two neural networks, even if trained on the same data, will be different actually, and that
mm,
was
yeah,
what we are trying to explain, because we start off from random values as neural network parameters and so on. So they will behave slightly differently at the fringes, at the edges, let's say, of sleep stages, for example. Um, but then we also have, um, of course, what is another thing that's important to know is that in principle, neural networks are more like a kind of fuzzy logic database. So in a way, they of course can only answer what they have been learned, been trained to do. So one challenge for research is to create novel ideas, and
mhm,
I'm actually a little bit skeptical about the use of AI to actually produce novel ideas. I mean, they can be used, and that helps, of course, very much to scan existing ideas. But to be really creative, we would need artificial general intelligence, and that is a little bit away.
Yeah, and I think that's the point, isn't it? It's like fundamentally, at least at the moment, it's very much about what we put into it to what we get out. So the sort of automation of stuff, you can see the benefit, but potentially the kind of the generation of new methods or understanding might really need still the interaction with us to interpret, which is good, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. So I guess then my final question is sort of what, as academics or clinicians, should we be thinking about in terms of collecting data or how we store data, in terms of the potential to be used with AI? Because I think something I read from your paper, which really struck a chord for me, is we need to be able to share data and obviously have the big data, which is again becoming an increasing part of what we do, but how to do that in an ethical way is obviously a big consideration.
Yes, that's one part of the issues that we described in the paper. Of course, there's a big discussion about the GDPR, the General Data Protection Regulations of the EU, but we think that this they actually pose give us a new opportunity to develop, this ethic, and to develop the techniques to allow medical data to be used for medical process, and then at the same time reduce the possibility that it is misused, this data. So this will be very important, and I think everybody can really join consortia, for example, do contracts, data use contracts, in which it is ensured that the data exchange, data use is done in an ethical way. There is now the European Health Data Space also set up. I think it still needs to be ironed out, really down to the clinics and so on. But there's also a lot of movements from bottom up movements, where we organize, every single researcher takes care to actually collect the data in a reasonable way, and already collects it and stores it in a way that it will be reusable, and that it is already possible to join this data together with other researchers.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, great, thank you. That was really interesting, and I'd be interested to hear sort of what your next plans are. Have you got some sort of things you're working on in this field, or is this just a sort of general kind of look into what's going on at the moment?
Yeah, we are a part of a few developments where we try to make sleep data usable. It's under the umbrella of the data trustee concept, which I think solves a lot of different problems. Right now, you have these use and access committees in every clinic, where this committee deliberates on every single application, and I think these things should be automated in order to because there will be a deluge of requests in the future, and this is one of the projects we're working on.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for talking to me today, and good luck with that in the future.
Thank you very much, Kate.